Two things that I often say, that every time Time magazine would have a cover story on the next pandemic coming, I would turn it around and say, no, not my problem. And it became our problem. It became a common problem, right? And much as the pandemic also gave us some hope, because I think we were very good with being able to come up with vaccines quite quickly, it also taught us a lesson that if we only try to preserve ourselves, as in me, if self-preservation and not the others, not preserving others will come back to harm you. Because when vaccines were not judiciously distributed, the pandemic found its way to, the virus found its way to mutate into various forms, and then we all had to suffer because of those choices that were made. And at the same time, so that's on humanity, and then I'll add on to that, in some ways, obviously exacerbated by the conflict in Ukraine, but the food security crisis. Okay, so 20 years from today, we were looking at a food security challenge, and today we are looking at a food security crisis. So have we gained or have we lost? And I find it difficult to live with a situation where we have actually lost more than we have gained. Then, in the very same way as the pandemic is something that you would go like, you know, not my problem, climate change, not my problem. Well, guess what? It is all of our problems, okay? Because now the climate, if Pakistan had one of its hottest months in years, perhaps the hottest in our history. Bangladesh is currently suffering from a very bad flood. We've had flash floods. So climate change is now saying to us, I'm not a problem that you have to deal with in the future, I'm a problem that you've already made, right? And in order to deal with all of those global challenges, we had this thing called in 2015, two big ticket items I think 2015 was still the time where the world was working together to deal with the challenges rather than create more challenges. And in that framework, we had the SDGs and we had the Paris Climate Agreement. And I had to be reminded by my colleagues that there was a commitment made of about $100 billion to enable developing countries to deal with the climate change requirements, processes, systems. I don't even want to look at the number in terms of how much have we made. So what I'm saying is, the long and short of it is that we have humanity and planet being challenged like perhaps not in the last many decades. And our answer to that is that the world order as it existed also is also teetering away, and we have no, so we're finding answers in tactical form in some ways, and creating fissures and divisions which are us versus them, which is creating a world which is a dangerous world. One in which we are not looking at ourselves as us, but as us versus them.